Shareholders in the supermarket giant Woolworths are taking on the company in the courts over its billion-dollar investment in poker machines. They're in league with the online activist group GetUp. They've forced Woolworths to call an extraordinary general meeting to consider imposing a $1 betting limit on the 12,000 pokies the company owns. As Guy Stainer reports, for one shareholder, the campaign is deeply personal.
Robin Rousset gambled against poker machine addiction and lost. Twice he racked up huge debts and his family bailed him out. The third time he needed rescuing, he committed suicide. 16 years on, his family is still counting the cost.
Before this happened, his daughter Bryony was the sunniest, happiest kid. She was joy, you know, she was one of these really little bubbles of joy, and it changed her personality. Like, she was very close to her dad. They were mates, and she didn't understand. She was 7, and she really blamed me. Why didn't you tell me I could have stopped it?
Karen Throstle believes the lack of pokey regulation contributed to her partner's death.
He was a wonderful worker, he was a fabulous father, he was a great comrade. I blame poker machines for stealing him from all of us.
She wrote a poem called Lady Luck.
Once I had a lover and I lost him. I lost him to a lady with a silver arm. She stole his love for $1 and his soul for another. And another, and another. She stole his life and she left him. My empty man, my lover.
Years later, Karen Throstle inherited Woolworths shares, unaware the company is Australia's largest operator of poker machines.
I was absolutely blown away because I didn't know that's who I was a shareholder for, and because of my background, I feel like I get dividends and it's blood money.
But rather than sell, she's become one of 257 shareholders who have signed a GetUp petition aimed at forcing Woolworths to hold an extraordinary general meeting about the company's poker machines. GetUp wants Woolies to impose a maximum bet of $1 on each of its 12,000 machines.
We believe it's in the long-term interest of this company and its shareholders to operate in a socially responsible manner.
Woolworths became a huge pokey player when it purchased a majority share of the Australian Leisure and Hospitality Group in 2005. It now owns 6% of Australia's poker machines. Nearly half are in Victoria, with significant numbers also in Queensland and South Australia. While Woolworths won't reveal its poker machine profits, its hotel revenue is $1.2 billion a year.
The irony today is that there are people who can't afford to buy groceries at a Woolworths supermarket because they've lost their money on a Woolworths poker machine.
We strive to be the most responsible operator of hotels in Australia, and as part of that commitment we are currently assessing what additional measures we might be able to take in order to build on that commitment.
Woolworths received the GetUp petition last month, but rather than hold the extraordinary general meeting within 49 days of receiving it, as stipulated by corporate law, Woolworths mounted a legal challenge, seeking to delay debate until the company's annual general meeting in November. Woolworths labelled the GetUp petition a stunt.
We offered GetUp the opportunity to have a collaborative working relationship with us. They declined that opportunity.
It's offensive for the company to suggest that this is a stunt. Lives have been lost as a result of this company's actions. Second of all, it's important to remember that the cost of holding this meeting earlier, had we been successful in seeking that, is less than what the company earns from problem gamblers themselves in one day.
While the lawyers were battling it out in Sydney, Karen Throstle was finishing another day of work. She manages a community centre in Melbourne's outer eastern hills.
Wonderful things they can do in the community. Yes.
7:30 broke the news to her that Woolworths had won the right to delay the meeting until November.
I don't know why they're not brave enough to front the public and, you know, we're the people that own Woolworths.
If Woolworths actually said it would go down the $1 bet path, it would implement this as a reform on its own, it would actually change and swing the public debate in a way that would have enormous political significance as well as corporate significance for those others that control poker machines in this country.
Independent MP Andrew Wilkie has tried unsuccessfully to legislate pokey reform. He says his failure could propel a new wave of shareholder activism.
We now know that politicians and governments can't be trusted to implement meaningful poker machine reform, so it's up to organisations like GetUp. And it is not ethical for Woolworths at the moment to be making so much money from problem gamblers. It should listen to GetUp. It should implement $1 maximum bets.
Their dad committed suicide because he was addicted to poker machines and he'd lost so much money.
The internet campaigners have raised the stakes on Woolworths and Coles, which owns 3,000 machines, with a new commercial featuring other victims of gambling.
I hope that the shareholders and the board of directors of Coles and Woolworths will have a greater understanding of what a big impact poker machines have on the lives of so many people around, not just the person that's addicted, but all their families and their friends.
Woolworths' extraordinary general meeting will be held in November. It will debate introducing $1 limits on its poker machines by 2016. With only 257 signatories out of 422,000 shareholders, the odds seem stacked against a win. But Karen Throstle says this is one gamble worth taking.
You can win these things. We're shareholders, we own these companies. You know, and I urge anyone out there who owns shares who hasn't already signed the petition and who hasn't thought of acting to turn up to that meeting and to tell them to behave responsibly and that, you know, there is more to life than making money.
Guy Stainer reporting.